Roadworks are a pain in the bum at the best of times, but it's the price we pay to have a relatively efficient road system. Now, St Georges Terrace is the main street in the Perth Central Business District. In September 2010, construction work started to upgrade the busy road into a more pedestrian-friendly area. But at what cost? Megan Belowski reports.
The St Georges Terrace upgrades have reached the halfway mark. As the north side is almost complete, major construction has begun on the south side. The aim? To transform St Georges Terrace into a more vibrant, inviting area for pedestrians.
St Georges Terrace is our main commercial street in the city, but it's never been one of our great streets, and it's certainly never been a place that people wanted to stay and linger and enjoy the space and the environment. And so we've put a bit of effort in, not just in St Georges Terrace, but in other streets around the city, Hay Street and William Street, for example, where we've widened footpaths, improved the pedestrian environment, made some changes to traffic to make it a much better pedestrian environment. And so it was part of a sort of re-evaluation about how do we make the terrace a place that's going to be much more attractive for people to come and stay.
What is St Georges Terrace going to look like once the upgrades are finished?
Well, it's going to be interesting because we've taken out a lane of traffic in each direction. St Georges Terrace used to be 6 lanes in each direction, and that was built really to accommodate the peak periods of the morning and in the evening. The rest of the day there wasn't very much traffic in the streets at all, so we'd sort of over-engineered a street for what we actually required. Now, our widened footpaths also allowed the opportunity to have alfresco dining step out onto the edge of St Georges Terrace in that central section, and that will be a very significant change to just how the street feels. It no longer will be a place that you just drive through and try to get out of as quickly as possible. With all these sorts of improvements and with the reaction we're already getting from some business owners and cafe owners along the terrace, we're imagining that when it opens and the new alfresco operations are up and running, it's going to be a much more interesting and lively place.
While the upgrades are improving footpaths, roads and bus lanes, cycle lanes are nowhere to be seen.
The St Georges Terrace upgrade is going to affect cyclists in a big way. What they're actually doing is they're reducing it down from 3 lanes down to 2 lanes. So we're going to have buses in 1 lane, cars in another lane, and there's no room for bikes. The St Georges Terrace is the main thoroughfare from the east and west directions. So any cyclist who wants to travel east and west uses St Georges Terrace, and that then has an impact on how they can cycle. You're going to be competing with the buses and the cars at the same time. And that's one thing which we want to try to remove is having that sort of interaction. But for example, if there was a cycle lane in there, the bikes would be in the cycle lanes and the cars and the buses would be in their own lanes.
Perth Bicycle Network statistics show that just over 15,000 cyclists travelled through the Perth metro area last year.
The Bicycle Transport Alliance has actually written off to the City of Perth and expressed their concerns. We've done that a couple of times, and in addition what we've been doing is we've actually been putting out black bikes around the City of Perth with signs on it indicating wherever the cycle paths in Perth. Now that's been occurring over the last 8 weeks with around about 10 bikes around the City of Perth in different locations. So we're trying to make sure that the City of Perth is aware that from a cycling perspective we've got concerns about the developments that are occurring around Perth.
Combined with the changes that we've been making to the traffic, we're also reducing the speed limit. It's not reasonable to expect that in a central city area cyclists will have sole or dedicated cycling lanes along each of those streets. But mostly if the traffic is slower, then cyclists will be able to more safely mix in with all of the other vehicles that are in the streets as well.
With all the traffic chaos already taking over the Perth CBD, we can only hope that the city traffic and cyclists don't clash on the road. Megan Belowski reporting for Undercurrent.